Hi, I'm Karin, and this is Wild Sage Co-Housing Community. We are in Boulder, Colorado. We're in a high density part of town. Our community is on less than 2 acres. We have 34 units. 13 of them are deed restricted through the city's permanently affordable program. We have 91 people living in our community right now. 31 of those are kids. I think the youngest right now is the 2-year-old twins. We have 4 graduating seniors this year. And our oldest member is, 87. We have families, we have retired folks, we have working professionals, we got them all. We have 6 different floor plans, ranging in sizes from about 600 square feet to about 2,800 square feet. The larger ones include, there's a neighbor, hi Brian. The larger ones include a finished basement. There's our outdoor kids play area. This area here is what we call the green. We have a strong community living team that plans at least a couple of fun events per month. We have a weekly happy hour in the summer, which is great because the kids can hang out and the kids can run around. This is our common house. There's another neighbor. Hi, Ann. So this is our dining room, which can also be used as a multi-purpose room for dance classes, etc. After 16 years of living here, we just recreated this space, this little gathering space. Right now we're calling it the Wild Place. I don't know what we're gonna call it in the end. Over here is our kids' playroom. Right now it's looking pretty cleaned up, really. And going back through the dining room, we gotta turn on a light. Just a kind of standard storage room, nothing exciting about that, except for we do have a kegerator. We have a few brewers in the community, and somebody is making some cider from our crabapple trees that we have. This is our kitchen. So we've gone through several different meal plans over the years. Currently we do 1 community meal per week where there's about 20 or 30 people attend. Often our happy hour ends up being a potluck of sorts because of hors d'oeuvres. And in the summer, it's pretty common for somebody to send an email to the community saying, I'm firing up the grill at 6 p.m., so bring your own. It's just another view of our dining room. And then let's see here, we'll go into our living room. So this is used as for smaller meetings or book clubs, men's circles, things like that. It can be a quiet place for reading, for napping. This purple couch is the best napping couch ever. There's some kids that do, well, not just kids, but there's some people that do music lessons here. Let's see, the other thing I like to share about this particular room is the walls are an American clay plaster technique. We have a neighbor who lives in the neighborhood, but not as a part of Wild Sage community, whose kids spend a fair amount of time in Wild Sage community playing with our kids. And as kind of a gift for that, he said, well, I'd like to do some clay plaster in your common house. And we said, awesome. Let's see, we'll go around up here. This is our hot tub deck. So the way our hot tub works is it's a club. So if you would like to use the hot tub, then it's just a voluntary donation. Monthly just gets tacked onto the HOA fees. We have some pretty cool views from up here. As far as clubs like the hot tub club, we have another club like that is our wood shop club. So basically it's things that are a voluntary donation for use. We'll go downstairs. Gets a little dark around this corner, so hold on. Ha, there's the lights. This is our laundry room. I have to admit, not very exciting. Sometimes people put a cute little poem on the board. All of the units have washer dryer hookups in them. Some people choose to use those. Some people use that space as storage and then do their laundry here. This is our family room. Currently, this is used most by the teens, I would say. They'll come over here and watch movies and hang out and play foosball and cause a general ruckus. We also, not just the teens, but the grown-ups or families or whatever will come over here and watch a movie. We don't have cable TV or satellite TV. The TV, whether or not we'd have a TV in the common house was our most contentious community meeting to date still. And as you can see, we have a large screen TV, but it's not hooked to anything. It's so you can watch movies, but we can stream things to it using somebody's laptop. So we can watch, I don't know, presidential debates or the Oscars or something like that. This room here is our office. So this room used to be used a lot because it has a computer and we have internet. We have high-speed, internet access throughout the community. But now everybody has a computer basically in their pocket. So we're thinking about repurposing this space. Maybe turn it into a pantry for bulk food club, or maybe like an exchange room, like things that you would normally bring to the thrift store, and we can exchange things there. We do have, I guess I should say, I think we actually have guests right now, but this is our guest room hallway. There's a full bathroom there, 2 bedrooms. So we have 2 guest rooms, and we ask for a voluntary donation from guests that are close friends or family. Otherwise, we charge a small fee for to host a non-community connected person. Our guest rooms get used quite regularly. This is originally this was going to be our yoga room. You can see the word breathe on the wall, and this beautiful cork flooring. But what we discovered is actually the size of this room is only conducive to about 4 people plus an instructor doing yoga. So people will come over here and do yoga, but not groups. More often it's the equipment that's used, and truly it's used every single day, every day. This is our community bulletin board, USPS mailboxes, and our community cubby system. It's our cubby system. We'll head outside here. We put in 2 EV stations about a year and a half ago, I guess it was. We have a PV system on our common house, which powers the whole common house. And then there are solar systems, panels on quite a few of the buildings. So Wild Sage is this 1 square block that we're on, but we are surrounded by other subdivisions. So the city's master plan took this property, which used to be an old drive-in movie theater, and subdivided it into 14 subdivisions. Wild Sage is one of them. There's our beehives. So we are one subdivision of 14. So that's one across the street that way. A different one is across the street that way. And then across the street here, this is Silver Sage. Silver Sage Village Senior Co-Housing. Oops, there's a big truck in the way. We thought that the two co-housing communities would do a lot together. It turns out, probably because of life stage daily schedules are so different, like our dining room can get a little chaotic with, kids complaining about eating peas. We eat at 5:30 so that kids can do homework and bath and bedtime, and the professionals can get to bed so they can get up early in the morning. And Silver Sage, their dining room is beautifully furnished, and they have like super stimulating conversations and eat at a respectable European time, more like 7 p.m. But we do stuff together. We do New Year's Day potluck every year. We get together on Halloween to see each other's costumes, which is really fun. And then there's a lot of just one-on-one personal relationships with our Silver Sage neighbors. So just walking down the block here, again, that's a different subdivision. That's a different subdivision. And we're just walking around the Wild Sage block. Many of our Wild Sagers are active in the bigger community. Several are involved in local politics, serving on city council, planning board, other department boards. Many people volunteer for various local nonprofit organizations. This year, we're going to work as a community to do some volunteer work, which not only helps serve the larger population, but it also will strengthen our relationships. As we're walking down the block here, here's another pathway between a couple buildings at Wild Sage. And as we're walking down the block here, you'll see some gardens across the street. Those are city community gardens, so they are not used just for Wild Sage community members, but it's like a city, a lot of cities call it like a pea patch. We do have quite a few Wild Sagers that have gardens over there, but it's also shared by the rest of the city. A lot of us do support local farmers by buying CSAs. Sometimes people share a weekly CSA. Community members car share. And there's a lot of the kind of standard co-housing, sending an email out, hey, does anybody have a large suitcase I can borrow, or something like that. That garage there leads to our wood shop. So that also is one of our clubs. So you have to sign a waiver. Our insurance company made us do that, but we have quite the setup in there for people to be able to build and create things. Our common house is the only kind of clubhouse type building in this larger neighborhood. So sometimes the other HOAs in the neighborhood use our common house to have their meetings. We do annual renewal of the city bus pass system for the whole neighborhood. City representatives hold public forums and that sort of thing. So I would say that our Wild Sage community really is that perfect balance of private space that we're used to and community relations relationships and interactions that we all really need.